So my name is Eugenia Kozi. I'm Client Relations Manager in the Kusnacht Practice. Client Relations team is the first touch point on a client's long journey towards recovery. Each client is different, hence the team should be ready and prepared for many complex, different scenarios. When a client or a loved one reach out to us, they may be extremely distressed, they may be very depressed and at the same time vulnerable. So the client relations team embrace them with support, delicacy, especially at this first stage, and support and care. The client relations team is always on call. We are always available, and we have to possess a variety of unique skills in order to support our clients. First of all, we have to find the balance between the empathy and the professionalism. At the same time, confidentiality is of paramount importance. Devotion, resilience are also two very important values for our trip towards recovery. Client relations team performs a vital role because we are the first point of contact when someone reaches out to Kusnacht Practice. So we are very aware that prospective client or the loved one may be calling during a very stressful period in their life. Therefore, it's essential they feel safe. We provide them an environment where they can feel secured, and also this exclusiveness, the privacy, the non-judgmental way when we listen to them on the phone. In addition, we protect anonymity and we 100% tailor the treatment. Actually, we have a very versatile team in place, and the team is trained to meet clients' need, no matter how complex that be, no matter how hard that could be. The first conversation with a client is of paramount importance because when an individual makes a decision to call us, they have taken the first step on a journey towards a new life, towards a new era, a new chapter. From this point onwards, our job is to ensure that transition begins as smoothly as possible. The Kusnacht Practice is responsible for changing people's life, let alone saving people's lives. So it's essential we handle each call with great care, with delicacy and discretion. Thankfully, we have enormous resources at disposal, and since each client is different, the team can meet all eventualities. So the role of the Kusnacht Practice team is very demanding for two specific reasons, I would say. First, because our clients may experience very desperate, very difficult moments, and they may ask for immediate support. So the difficulty actually for us is to be able to respond in a different way on every occasion. And actually many of the disorders we treat involve a lot of self-blame, shame, fear. So people become very unstable, very vulnerable and anxious. That would lead in a high-risk situation, especially for his health and safety. The second reason is always to find the balance between the professionalism and the empathy, since we're not an information line. We really are equipped to support them all the way through the end. For sure, it's not a 9-to-5 work, client relations job. Given the fact we offer a very exclusive treatment, we stick to this. We have to be always available, always alert, and to organize admissions with a short notice. So the client relations team is there to give support whenever is needed. This is a fundamental aspect of our role. It could be that a client may call you on Friday evening, 11 o'clock, and from the plane and they may say, "I'm coming, I need the treatment now." So we face different scenarios. A client may call in person, or it may be a family member or a loved one who will ask for support and help on behalf of the person of concern. The caller should be a representative from a family office in a different case, or a personal assistant in case we have a client who is a successful businessman and they needed someone who will prepare all the logistic part. In that case, it's very important to build trust. This is, I would say, a predictor for a smooth transition to residential treatment. The situation can be challenging when the person of concern, the prospective client, is not ready to come to get in for treatment because for several reasons. In that case, there may be a number of discussions over a long period of time, and we have to leave them the chance to digest the idea of the treatment. And in that case, probably it could be weeks or even years until the person agrees on coming for treatment. When a client first contacts us, we need to get some preliminary information about the presenting issue, about the case. Therefore, we use a questionnaire where we need to get the name, either the real name or the alias name. We need to know the date of birth, the country of origin or domicile, the presenting issue, how many years, how many months the person has been struggling with the substance or the mental disorder, the prescription medication intake, and some information about the family status and the current occupation they have. If they have been also in other treatment centers, it would be always very, very useful to have it in advance. After having gathered the preliminary information about the person of concern, we organize a detailed assessment of client's needs. So we have 4 calls we have to conduct. The first is with the head of psychiatry psychotherapy to make sure that, first of all, we can support the client, and then reassuring to the family we can support. Giving us, the head of psychiatry, the green light, then we proceed with the second call, the head of biomolecular restoration. This very innovative medical treatment where we can have an assessment of the physical condition perspective. Then the third call is with the clinical operations team in order to get an idea of the personality of the person of concern and to select the quite right person for him staying in the villa, the living counselor. Last, we have the call with the hospitality team to make the treatment, the residential treatment, as homey as possible with the right ingredients in food the person requires. As homey as possible means also to have the candles, the perfumes, the spirit the person needs, and depending the nationality, we can adjust whether it comes to Indian, Arabic, European, or Chinese mentality. The results from those 4 assessment calls are actually to ensure that everything is tailored and that would secure a client's smooth transition to have a very good start from day one. Clients often have a number of questions. They can become very curious, very impatient, and stressful about what will follow next. So even from the airport, when we receive them, our transportation team, they start bombarding us with lots of questions. Concerns about the detox process, could be also practical questions about the use of mobile, the pets, if they can bring their dog with them in the villa, if they can have visitors, guests over the weekend, if they can go out. Those are mainly the basic questions we receive from clients. It is important that our approach is friendly, is flexible. We don't have a paternalistic kind of model, and that allows them also to have some freedom in accordance with the clinical team operations, of course. For me, the most rewarding part of this job is to feel that you can contribute to something better, bigger, which is helping people regaining the control over their lives. Although this could be challenging because, as I mentioned before, the pre-admission procedure could have many problems, challenges, difficulties, and especially when it comes to their emotional state, they may feel stressful, unsecured. What is always important for us is to underline that they contact us for a good reason. When a person takes that decision to come to us, we know that from this point onwards, they're in safe hands. My message so to a person in that position would be, do not let the fear hold you back. We will support you through this journey, and we will make this long trip as comfortable as possible. To sum up, I would say that this job requires maturity to really find the balance between the empathy and the professionalism, because the prospective client is in a very vulnerable position, and we have to take this into consideration. To love serving, to love helping, to be able to be present when a client unfolds their story. It's not only active listening, it's empathy, and it's, I would say, non-judgmental way of communication. I believe also someone has to possess good organizational skills to be able to communicate efficiently within the company what the client needs, and at the same time I believe it's important to be authentic and resilient, because there is a small line finding the balance between the professionalism and the empathy. I would say we do three group of tasks and activities. We organize the admission process prior to a client's visit here. So we liaise with the medical, clinical, hospitality team to make this transition as smooth as possible. So from A to Z, we organize the logistic details around the treatment, including flight details, visa, the schedule of the first day. So all this logistic around their first coming, and this is the first group. The second group of activities has to do with pure communication. So we are the first contact point when a client reaches out to us, and we elaborate. So we present what we do and what makes us unique. And the third group of activities we do as client relations manager, I do, is regarding the financial part. So I invoice the client, I make sure that I track their balance, I close their balance, I organize the refund order. So all this financial / accounting part. Talking to the clients is the most exciting and the most interesting, because you don't really know what you're gonna face. Each day is different here, because each story is unique. Could be very stressful, this job, but at the same time I would say that this is a charming aspect of our job, because it's 100% not predictable. However, you have to be always alert, to be always ready to leave your vacation or to freeze your personal time and to give priority to a client's call. At the same time, it's important when you are on the phone for the client to understand that you are 100% present And the kind of advice and support you're gonna provide is very, very original, let's say, that you're not between some other things you are doing, because they can hear everything is so transparent, this communication. The most difficult calls I receive is when the client is under the influence of the substance, so could be even difficult to be understood. At the same time, could be when the client is in a very desperate moment where they feel like they have like fell off the wagon, they don't have any chance to survive. In that special case, we have to give them hope that it's really worth making this decision and come while the iron now is hot, as we say.